It is July of 2013, and this is about where we left off with the excavator spring of 2012. We'd come through, did some grading, clearing. We'd seeded it all. Grass took off fairly well. He left us a drainage ditch on the side, and now he's back again. And we're working on another drainage ditch. There's an awful lot of water that comes down off the hillside. There's wet spots all over, seeps, meadows, marshes. There's a lot of hill, a lot of land, and a lot of clay on about 2 feet or so underneath of the surface. So this drainage ditch that we had on the lower part of the driveways worked really well. So we're working on another trench continuation. Plus it also helps that all of the fill that he pulls out of the drainage trench builds up the driveway that he'll flatten off when he comes back down, and then that'll give us a drainage trench on the uphill side also, so we'll have one on both sides. Uh-oh. You see smoke? There's our shiny new hose down there. Goes to the back of the injection pump for the hydraulics. And pull the panel out. Some stuff from underneath. Fun. Later, but the machine's back up and running, topped off with hydraulic fluid. Only took about 4 gallons, so we caught the leak pretty quick. It was awful nice having the right tools to fix it up as we needed to, being as we're about 3.5 miles out in the woods. So the operators just to finish off the end of the day here, it's getting late. Grading off some of the fill that he brought in, that he dug up from the trenches. And then we'll check the machine and make sure that there's no hydraulic leaks. And then we'll be good for tomorrow.
Today has been one exciting day and very interesting. The excavator came today for the first time this summer. They showed up about 7:15, 7:30 this morning. We unloaded and started up the road. Making good progress just for a few hours, and then blew a hydraulic line. Sprayed hydraulic fluid all over. It was one of the main lines from the main injector to the distribution pumps. So fortunately we had some tools. We were able to get it apart. It was way up in the woods, up a half a mile into the woods, and we're still 3 miles from the nearest paved road. So it would have been interesting trying to get somebody in here to fix it if we couldn't do it ourselves. So a few hours of downtime, we got the machine up and running again. The operator had gone into town and got a replacement hose made up within a couple hours. So we got everything going again, started making some more progress. Things are going well, driveway's looking really good. He wanted to do another 5 or 10 minutes worth of work before we knocked off for the day, and ended up getting a large stone, a little bit bigger than a football, jammed on top of the tracks in between that and the main body of the excavator. Crushed one of the protection plates up underneath and ruptured the main fuel line out of the bottom of the diesel tank. Machine shut off almost immediately. It was pouring diesel fuel out. We were able to find the broken hose relatively quickly. Just it was in a very awkward spot on top of the track, and track's covered in mud, diesel fuel raining down. Did the Dutchman in the dike and got the line stopped up with a finger. Fortunately still had the tools up there, so we were able to get the clamp off of it, cut the hose, and reattach it to the metal line off the bottom of the tank. Unfortunately, both the operator and myself at the end of the day were basically covered head to toe in diesel fuel, just soaked through our shirts, pants, in my hair, what there is of it, and made a mess. It was a good way to finish the day. But we're back up, all repaired, ready for tomorrow to give it another go. So we'll see what happens. It's unfortunately part and parcel of being out in the woods over rough terrain, trying to put a road in where none was before. So we're making progress this year, and we're happy with that. The place is going to look good. We're working on some water development in a couple of places. I have a ram pump that I built. We're going to find a place to install that. I was just very thankful that we had the tools to do what needed to be done. It's nice when you come across an obstacle and you're prepared to handle it. It's what you need to do on your homestead and in your prepping, is think about all the things that you need to have and get what you have to. But looking good, ready to face another day. So I'm trying to put the car back together, reorganize after the day's adventures. I had some breakdowns with the excavator a couple times. Yesterday I had a breakdown with my tractor. And this is some of the things that you need to have with you to be prepared for some of these day-to-day adventures. And so this is just some of the things that I bring with us pretty much every time we come up, just to be prepared. It's good to have stuff when you're homesteading or prepping, whatnot. But you need a set of jumper cables. There's a cable winch, cordless drill and hammer drill, and cordage for fastening you know, whatever load you might be out somewhere. Just caulk gun, some silicone, oil for the car, oil for the tractor, grease gun, bolt cutters, a little variety pack of pliers, screwdrivers, pipe wrench, some hose clamps, some handy hatchet, some flexible wire, a couple chisels, wire brush. That was handy for the tractor repair on the battery cables. It turned out to be the problem. There was a lot of corrosion from it sitting over the winter. A couple files. But this toolbox has been unbelievably helpful today. We had a line, hydraulic line break on the excavator, and we're 3 miles, well, it's about a half a mile from our camp here, but it's 3 miles from anywhere. But I was able to take this up with the tractor. This is a kit that I got from Sears. It was like $200 for all the tools, and I think $50 for the toolbox itself. But it has metric and standard inch wrenches, a couple spools of electrical tape. It's great if you get a radiator hose leak or who knows what. There's different hex keys, ignition wrenches, full 1/4-inch drive set, sharpening stone, 3/8 drive. There's deeps and shallows, some torques, 1/2-inch drive. This little multimeter that was handy when I was working on the tractor, trying to source the electrical problem. But this has been indispensable. I would highly recommend getting some sort of toolbox to have with you. And obviously the more you have, the more prepared you are. And again, obviously there's a limit to how much you can realistically carry. But that was certainly helpful today. Saved us hundreds of dollars on mechanics bills trying to get somebody out here in the woods to repair the excavator when it broke. And it was also handy when I had my tractor, trying to figure out the issues with that. So be prepared when you can.